Age discussion etiquette. What if somebody asks you your age? Hello and welcome to another episode of the Culture Connection Conversations, where we bring you relatable stories of diversity.
Hi, I'm Philomene. I'm based in the Netherlands.
And I am Claudia from Luxembourg.
I'm a trainer and I work with both teams and individuals on improving of productivity and work happiness.
And I'm a professional coach working with entrepreneurs, corporate leaders, as well as their teams, uncover the root of problems and custom craft solutions in order to thrive.
You call us when you feel that results are going down, there's friction, or you're struggling.
Yes, so let's get started.
Let's do that.
So today we are talking about age discussion etiquette. Why don't you take it away, Philomen?
Thank you, Claudia. Well, the situation is that I was in Italy around 2005. And I had a full day of training with 10 leading personalities, both in personality and in function. So this was a board of a company, around 10 persons and 10 different ages, 10 different types of personalities, 10 different languages. So the language we chose was English. And we did the training, and at the end of the day, we had a really nice dinner at Lake Como, which great weather, great atmosphere, Italian food. Imagine, Claudia, it's the best day to end best way to end the training. And we were having a conversation naturally about the training and what people had experienced, how they felt, and we also shared stories about our lives and situations we encountered. And during these conversations, at some point, one of the attendants asked me for my age. And I was about to reply, being Dutch and in general in the Netherlands, it's quite common to ask for your age, right? Irrelevant if you're male or female, and also irrelevant of your actual age. And before I could answer, there was the guy next to me on my left side saying, "You can't do this. Honestly, you cannot do this." So I looked at him and asked him why. He said, "It's rude, absolutely, totally rude to ask for age." So before I answered, and I felt actually quite comfortable not answering and just waiting to see how this discussion would evolve. And then the guy who asked me basically said, "So I'm not being rude, I'm showing interest." Because we are having a really nice conversation. And I just want to know, out of interest, what her age is. So I can relate to that. So there's no specific reason for that. So I did not feel uncomfortable with the question about my age, but I did realize once again, I have to say, that it's not common to ask for age. So let me ask you, Claudia, have you encountered a situation like this? And how did it make you feel?
Yeah, so I mean, thank you for the story. That was certainly nice, and I can just picture the Lake Como scene, and it
Mm,
would be really nice to be there right now. Um, we should do that sometime.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I have lived in different countries, and for instance, while I was in the US, I think it would have been very badly received to ask a question about age, especially to a lady. I think it's something that's kind of kept separate. And for instance, in America as well, on a curriculum vitae, you are not putting your birth date or your age. versus in Europe, it is something that's included, for instance, in a resume, in a curriculum vitae. Here in Luxembourg, it's still okay to ask it. So maybe it's it extends into some European countries. Um, how would I feel about it personally? Having lived here and there, I would be okay with it because my age is my age. There's nothing to hide from it, and you just need to look at me, and you can kind of guess roughly where it is. So I am not really that personally that struck by it, but I know that there's cultures where it would be really a faux pas, really bad etiquette to ask about age, and even sometimes in a rather friendly social circle. I noticed we had a Korean lady come with a Asian friend that we know, and she came to visit us here in Luxembourg. And there, I felt already from her as well, if I were to ask her her age, she would not be that inclined to go there because she was also on top of it a very girly girl, right? Very not that happy about aging. And so I think sometimes you have to have this awareness that it can also change from person to person. If you're dealing with a very open person who is already sharing a lot about themselves, that might also, in that case, be okay to ask her, even if she comes from a country, let's say, where it would be a little bit more taboo.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there, Claudia, because it's like this topic is very much cultural related, but it's also personality related. Um, and it has to do, I think, also what age is about, how people think about age. For example, there are countries when you're much, much older, the older you get, the more respect you get, right? And for example, in the Netherlands, the older you get, does not necessarily mean you get more respect. So in that respect, sometimes people feel vulnerable or old or being considered old when you mention your age.
On the other
Me
hand,
personally, right? Because I know it's a tricky subject, right? Also because of the story I just shared with you, is that I chose never to ask for age. I leave it up to the persons I meet to not to do or do not mention age. I also think personally that age is irrelevant in a lot of situations. It's about the relationship you have, experience you share, or experience you are willing to give or share uh, in the benefit of the cooperation or relationship. So I think I kind of changed my traveling, changed my attitude towards this question. But it is very much cultural related, and also I would love to hear, what our listeners, how they feel about this.
yeah,
Do they
absolutely.
feel offended when they are being asked about their age, or do they don't mind, or whatever? I would love to hear that.
Right, right. That's absolutely the case. I also think just one concluding thing is that it depends also on the age of the person. You can ask a 13-year-old how old they are, and it's absolutely not a big deal. Maybe even a person that you kind of assume is in their 20s from the way they look. If you have a lady, reaching 50, it might already be a little bit more touchy. On the other hand, my 85-year-old dad would be very happy to tell him that he made it to 85 already. Thank you very much. So I really think it depends, on the culture and who you're talking to and what you're after when you ask the question. I agree with you. I do not ask for age, and I don't think it matters all that much how specifically it is. And I really think that people will probably share some very interesting experiences that they have with it because it changes so much. So please, I would actually really love to hear if people have experienced something similar, what their how their understanding was of the situation, what they were after, and how they did react. Maybe if they got asked the age question kind of in an impromptu way. So please let us know your key takeaways of this.
Thank you all for listening.
Yeah, that's today's experience with culture, folks. Thank you so much for listening. This was fun. Thank you, Philomene. And
Welcome.
if you like what you hear, please show us some love. Subscribe to the channel, click like, or otherwise engage with our content. Also, if you need to get in touch, our contact information is in the show notes associated with this video, or you can find us on LinkedIn, no problem. So that is it for today. Thank you very much, and we will be back with more. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, Philomene.
Bye.
Yeah.